So I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done. Thank
So my question I think is okay, some people like such as myself would argue you come to a realization of what is true based off of your senses and logic and mathematics. Would you disagree with that belief?
Um, yes.
Okay, so then my question would be, so we can't trust our own senses, then how do we know
That,
anything is
that
real?
that's not my position.
Okay,
My
then what
my
is your position?
position is the ultimate ontological grounding for truth and reason is the mind of God and how He has revealed it, either indirectly or directly. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
either human reason can arrive at truth, uh, existing non-derivatively and non-dependently upon the mind of God, or human reason must be derivative and commensurate with the mind of God. So which is it?
I'm not talking about reason. I'm trying talking about like how do I know that I'm sitting on a chair right now? I can use my senses. I could
Why?
feel it. I
Why?
could see
Why?
it.
Because God in His creation has made man in His image, and He has given you certain foundational ways of thinking that you can't think otherwise. Okay, and usually when people start to think opposite of the foundational way God makes us to think, foundational ways that is, we generally
Yeah.
consider that those people are insane.
So if there's no way of observing what is beyond our own understanding and our own senses, then our senses is our reality in which
Either
we live.
either 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 you are going to believe that your immediate self-consciousness and your sense perception of basic things around you are creaturely, that God has made you to think in these fundamental ways, or you will think that your fundamental ways of thinking are just pure happenstance. There's no other option. It's a true dichotomy. So unless there is an omnipotent, omniscient, always truth revealing God that has the character set of the God of the Bible, He then creates the world, makes you in His image, and He makes you to think in certain foundational ways. If you do not accept that aspect of the Christian worldview, then you are doomed to absurdity and unintelligibility, because then there will be no background information to ground anything.
I think senses are the background information to ground anything.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, because your sense perception, okay, presupposes background information. Okay, your sense perceptions depend and derive that the external physical world is real. Your sense perception presupposes the causal principle, that there's a cause and effect relationship between the chronology of events. Your sense
No.
perception, yes.
Okay.
Oh, so your sense perception does not presuppose the causal principle?
I don't think so. I think your sense
Okay,
perception.
you're ignorant, sir. Okay, listen carefully. Then what does sense perception mean then if it doesn't entail that there's a cause and effect relationship between any chronology of events? So then are each and every event simply spontaneously occurring with no connectivity or relationship to any other event?
You're talking about time and space, and that's not what I'm talking
Is
about.
your sense perception in any given time index, is it just simply a spontaneous eruption that has no connectivity or correlativeness to any other event?
No, it's a logical
No. Okay. So your sense perceptions in any given time index are not spontaneous. So why do your sense perception and the time index occur if they're not spontaneous? Is it because there's a cascading cause and effect?
No, it's because when I'm observing and then I'm not observing it.
Okay,
When
this is
I'm
going
when I'm
over your head, sir. You're not getting this. Okay. Okay. Your sense perception, your sight, your taste presupposes causal connections. Do you understand that?
I disagree. I think maybe it
Okay,
doesn't.
then if they don't presuppose causal connections, then are your sense perception at any given moment just spontaneous eruptions in a world where all events are spontaneous and have no connection or causal relation to any other event?
Depends on how you view
Okay,
time.
we're done. This is you're not equipped to have this conversation. I'm sorry to say. Okay.
That's why I'm here to learn.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you that sense perception presupposes the causal principle. Otherwise, sense perception wouldn't mean anything. It would just simply mean there were unconnected, unrelated, spontaneous events that you are collectivizing in an abstract way, and you're calling it your senses. It would be an abstract grouping rather than a concrete grouping, because a concrete grouping would involve a concrete unifier instead of being an abstract unifier. Okay?
That's right. What does this prove?
Okay, so the bottom line is to speak of sense perception is to presuppose, okay, the reality of the external physical world, uh, the matter and energy, the causal principle that there's a cause and effect relationship between the chronology events, and that those events are occurring, some things are occurring regularly and some things are irregular. And then hence you have sense perception. If you say that your sense perception doesn't presuppose that, then it doesn't mean anything at all.
Well, I mean, can't you say that reality it doesn't presuppose reality? It proves reality. It's a measure of what is real and what is not. That is what it is. It would be similar
Yeah, that
to.
was that was just pure. I mean, listen, I'm really trying hard to understand you, but that was just gobbledygook.
No, no, no. I'm not gobbledygooking. What I'm trying to
Okay,
say is
listen. Okay, listen. Are you an atheist or a theist?
I am a theist for the most part. Yes.
Okay, so then you do believe in the causal principle.
I mean, I, I,
Do
I
you
mean,
believe do you believe in a supreme being who is eternal, without beginning, uncaused, and that he is the source and basis of why anything all exists?
without cause, I disagree that it's without cause.
No, I said, do you believe that the supreme being, the creator, exists unconditionally, non dependent, non derivatively, uncaused?
Oh, um, you uncaused? I disagree with that. I think it's caused by
Okay,
something.
then you don't believe in God, then, because then
I
God
do
wouldn't be
believe in
God.
God.
No, you're
I
not
God,
understanding. Listen to me. Listen to me. Either you are going to define God as absolute within himself, he's self contained, meaning that he's unconditionally non dependent, non derivative, or the God that you speak of will be derivative and derivational and not self contained. Which of those definitions do you hold for God?
well, let me explain what I believe that God is. I believe God is
No,
an energy
listen
source.
to me. Focus. This is the biggest problem I have with talking with people on Discord. I just asked you a true dichotomy. Okay.
I
When
don't think
you
it's a true
invoke,
dichotomy, but
okay, what's the third option?
I was going to explain that. So I believe
No,
God is
there
a
isn't
force.
one.
There
There
is.
isn't one. So you're wasting my time. Listen carefully. Either God is self contained or not. That's a true dichotomy. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a true dichotomy?
Can God be contained within individuals?
You're not, wow, wow. Listen to me. Do you understand? I've explained what I mean by self contained, meaning self contained means that God is a necessary being who does not come into existence. He's not derived or depends upon anything that is not himself. That's what it means to be self contained. Either you will believe that God is self contained, as I have just described and defined, or you will not believe that. So, which do you believe?
Um, so either I believe that he's self-contained, in which he is not. derivative or is not represented in other individuals as like it's an energy force that spreads between
I didn't
people.
say that, sir. Stop putting words in my mouth. Either you believe that God is self contained, meaning he's absolute within himself, non derivative, non dependent, or not. So,
Well,
which do you believe?
I think he's dependent.
Okay, then we're not talking about God, sir. We're now talking about a creature that is subject to one or more parameters like everything else is. So we're not when we're using the word God, we're talking about two different things. Okay?
Okay,
Right?
if you say so.
Look, imagine a man who has a $500,000 Ferrari, okay? And he comes home and the wife is upset.
Okay.
And he says, "What's the matter?" And she said, "Your son destroyed your Ferrari." He went, "What?" She says, "Yeah." He go, "What do you mean he destroyed it? He banged it up or whatever?" She goes, "It's destroyed. It's beyond repair." He goes, "Oh," the guy's shocked because this is his beloved possession, his
Mhm.
$500,000 Ferrari, and he's upset on the brink of anger that his son did this, right?
Mhm.
And he goes, "When did this happen?" And she said, late this morning when I wasn't paying attention." He goes, "What do you mean? Our son was in school." She goes, "Oh, no, no. I'm talking about Johnny, the toddler." So, how could a toddler destroy my Ferrari? She says, "Well, he took a hammer to it." Because what? How does a toddler destroy a Ferrari beyond repair? And the wife goes, "Oh." She goes, "I'm talking about your replica of your Ferrari that's in your office." Okay? She said, "Your son destroyed your Ferrari." She was referring to the replica Ferrari in the office, not the actual Ferrari that was in the garage that the high school student that he thought took it. So
Okay.
they weren't talking about the same Ferrari. We're not talking about the same God here. When we're talking about God, we're not talking about some entity that is the final boss of the universe that's unimaginably powerful and is going to get you if you don't love him. We're talking God is the supreme being, the creator who is self contained,
Mhm.
right? And everything else derives and depends upon that. Now, you don't have to believe that that exists in one sense. But when we use the word God, that's what we're talking about. Otherwise, we're not talking about the same thing. So, do you believe in God as defined as self contained and eternal and the creator?
Can I tell you what I actually believe?
I'm waiting for an answer.
I I do- I believe that he's the creator. Yes. You say self-contained
Yeah,
to
well,
an extent,
he th-
not
then
quite.
then if he's creator, then by default he's self contained. Okay.
I mean, not necessarily.
Creator refers to no necessarily because then he's not the creator of everything.
He is the creator of everything. So,
Good. Then that
let's
means
imagine.
that if
Let's
he
imagine.
is the creator, listen, if he is the creator of everything that is
Mhm.
not himself, then by definition he's self-contained. It necessarily follows.
Okay.
Okay? Do you believe in God as creator being self contained, eternal, unconditionally non dependent, and everything that is not God depends and derives upon him?
You say non-dependent. That. Can you define what that means? Maybe I'm disagreeing, or maybe I don't
Yeah,
understand.
non dependent means his he doesn't depend upon his existence upon anything else. It means he doesn't come into existence and remain in existence by virtue of anything else. He's absolute within himself. He's self-contained.
Oh, then if you're going to say that particular
Do
word,
you believe in God as I have defined it?
no.
Good.
You
Then
said
you're an atheist. Then you are an atheist in the sense that there is not an eternal ultimate creator God. You might believe in some persona out there, creature that has powers that you call God,
not a
but you are
creature.
an atheist. Then you are a creature. No, a creature is something that is subject to one or more parameters that are not itself. Okay? So either you are creator or you are a creature, which means you're a creature if you're not the creator. If you're the creator, then you're not a creature. Okay? So you might believe in some entities that you call gods, or you may believe in one entity that you call God. But if what you call God is not ultimate, is not absolute, self contained, unconditionally non dependent, and derivative, then you're not talking about God. And you would be an atheist that there is no supreme being or creator.
So if God has a plan, right, and He's
So
dependent upon others.
do you understand that you're offering a version of atheism?
No, I'm
Do you
not.
believe, listen, do you believe there is no supreme being creator that is self-contained?
You say non-dependent. That's the part I disagree with. I think God is dependent.
Okay, we're done with you. You are totally obtuse. Wow. Why can't I have conversations with intelligent people? Would somebody please explain that to me?
On what is
Wait,
God
could I
dependent?